Did you want to know what was in my pants? But I don't think it should be a huge deal that I'm trans, because I'm just a man.
Over the past 2 decades, the LGBTQ community has been magnified by the media. Following the legalization of same-sex marriage, most of the United States believed that the community would be done fighting for their rights. But the movement for equal marriage was just the tip of the iceberg, especially for the T part of the community. Transgender rights have become a hot topic in the media and society, both for the good and the bad. But what concerns does the trans community have? How fearful are they in the current political climate?
Hi, I'm Isaac. I am a man. My pronouns are he, him, and I am from San Diego, California. Okay, my definition of what transgender means would probably be just identifying in a way other than what you were assigned at birth. And then that applies to me because I am a trans man. I was simultaneously not born this way and born this way, so yeah, being trans isn't really a huge part of my identity. Like, the fact that I am is more of what other people see in me and not really what I see, because when I go about my daily life, I go about it being a man, and that's just how I exist, you know? It's more other people look at me and label me trans man than I say, you know, I am a trans man. I probably identify more as a Gryffindor than I do as a trans man. You know, kind of generic childhood. It wasn't like gendered or anything like that. I was never like, oh, well, I'm gonna do girl things now because I'm a girl when I was a kid, but I also wasn't like, yeah, totally, dude, let's start skateboarding. You know, I just kind of drifted.
Was your family supportive of you being trans?
No. Nah, not really. Not at all. I think they tried for a hot second, but they still do things like they use my dead name and they misgender me all the time. I don't know if any of them are really trying, but I don't know, one really funny thing that came out of it was I got to insult my dad's penis. He told me over the phone that he would never call me his son until I grew a penis. And I said, well, just because mine's made out of plastic doesn't mean it's not bigger than yours. And yeah, he hung up very angrily. I talked to my grandmother just the other day, and I think she was kind of trying to connect or show a little bit of support, because I started talking about how much I love to sew and how much I love making costumes and things like that, because I'm in costume production right now. And yeah, she started telling me a story about how her dad taught her how to sew and not her mom. She was like, yeah, because my mom can't sew a lick, but my dad, he's the one who taught me how to sew. So I think she was trying to tell me that sewing's not gendered, or that she supports my identity.
Despite Isaac's desires to live as a man just like anyone else, society has tried to hinder his ability to exist. With slacking education, stereotyping, and even federal legislation, it becomes much harder for Isaac and other trans folks to even be considered authentic. Since the election of President Donald Trump, his administration has drastically turned around progressive policies protecting transgender individuals in the United States. Last July, via Twitter, President Trump tweeted saying that the U.S. military would no longer allow transgender people to serve in any capacity.
President Trump officially reversing Obama policy and not allowing transgendered individuals into the U.S. military.
And in October 2018, a memo leaked from an administrative meeting that Trump would be altering the legal definition of gender to exclusively relate to biological sex assigned at birth. This would essentially erase transgender people from existence in legislative and legal matters.
We're looking at it. We have a lot of different concepts right now. They have a lot of different things happening with respect to transgender right now. You know that as well as I do, and we're looking at it very seriously. I'm protecting everybody. You know what I'm doing? I'm protecting everybody. I want to protect our country.
Protecting everybody from what? Defining gender is gonna protect who? That's a non-response, first of all. Where he's just saying, he's saying that they're looking at it. They're looking at it. They're looking at it very closely, and then he's saying that he's protecting everyone, protecting the country. He's not protecting anybody. In fact, he's doing the exact opposite of that. He's encouraging attack on U.S. citizens. No matter what anybody else says, I am what I am. You know, that doesn't change. I don't care what the definition of gender is. I'll just throw that out the window altogether. You know, the way that I act and the way that I am is one way. The gender that I present to the world is one way. And if somebody wants to tell me that it's not, you can't take somebody's reality and just press your own on top of it and say that that's the way the world works, because it's not. You know, you can't say that this is the way I experience life, so this is the way that everybody experiences life.
The challenges that Isaac and countless other transgender individuals face daily are tasks that most of us don't have to think twice about. Simple things like going to a public restroom or even just walking down the sidewalk are nearly impossible to handle without severe anxiety.
There's a lot of thoughts that go through my head, you know, best exit routes, keeping my eyes open on, like, who's actually watching me or who's seeing me do anything. A lot of it is, you know, how well am I passing? Am I passing well enough to use this restroom, or should I use the other one? Am I passing too well to use this restroom, or should I just forego it altogether and go pee in the bushes? I would say also, because of the career path that I've chosen and the fact that I do want to be an actor, that's a pretty big, I wouldn't say hindrance, just obstacle to get past, or to get other people to see past, because, like I said, for me it's just normal. I'm just a guy. But for other people, they look at me and they see something different. Because as proud as I am to be trans, if it comes to telling someone that doesn't agree with it that I am trans, or just sliding around that until they're gone, then I'm gonna do that. You know, I don't feel the need to risk my life just to be able to say that I'm one thing, when I know that if I get through this and after I leave this, I'm still that. Genuinely, my biggest fear is being killed because of it. You know, walking down the street, I never know, especially in some areas or some places. You know, I used to live in California, where it's pretty much, it's more acceptable for a lot of things, and now I live in Kentucky. You know, so I'll be walking, and if I don't pass well enough, I'm terrified when I talk to new people. Or even when I just see people on the street. You know, at any point, somebody could decide that they're not okay with who I am or what I am, and a lot of past experiences, my experiences and the experiences of people that I've read about and things like that have shown that it's a very real possibility that somebody could beat, maim, even kill me because of who I am.
Isaac's fears have grown even larger from the horrifying increase in transgender murders in the past several years. In 2018 alone, 22 transgender individuals have been murdered, 19 of which were trans women of color.
Well, the people who have been murdered so far this year, you know, they're it saddens me, because there's no reason for it. There's absolutely no reason for it. Why do I think the increase in murders is happening? Because there's an increase in hate, and there's an increase in hate speech. That sort of thing is given a platform now, where people are allowed to go back and forth and say that this isn't natural, or this isn't, you know, how people are supposed to be, so obviously this is something other. This isn't us, so this is something other, and that increases people's ability to just go in there and attack. and not see it as human. It's people fighting what they don't understand because they don't want to try.
So do you think that there's hope for trans people and being treated equally as human beings?
Almost definitely. I think that there's always going to be hope. You know, I have a good support system around me of people who do treat me as a normal ass person, as just a guy going through his day, you know, grabbing some beers or getting lunch with somebody and things like that. You know, I can go around my day-to-day life for the most part and be treated like a normal human being. I think society's really moving forward towards that, and I think the people who are going to be left behind are the people in our government right now. Cisgender people just treat us like normal people. Do not just like go around being like, are you trans? Well, I really support trans people, and like, that's beautiful. You're beautiful. Just, I'm a person. Just talk to me. After the battle, after all of that is over, we're still gonna exist because we've existed for years and years. You know, it's changing a definition doesn't change a people. Yeah, there's always going to be hope. There's hope for everyone. It's just gonna take a long time to get there, and it's gonna be a long, hard road, and a lot of people are gonna get hurt. But like I said, after the battle, we're still gonna be here. We're still gonna exist, and we're gonna have more than we did before.